This is the tape that was given to me by Edgecombe County Public Schools for Megan's enrollment on December 14, 2016, in which Megan, myself, and Edgecombe County DSS supervisor, Edgecombe County social worker, and Edgecombe County Public School, the EC director, the federal government, I guess she's the director of that program, federal government program, Shauna Andrews, and the assistant superintendent for Edgecombe County Schools, Mrs. Bridges, and myself and Megan. They had a meeting that was set up by Edgecombe County DSS, and at the same time, Martha G. Scott was the director of Edgecombe County DSS, as well as dually North Carolina government official as Edgecombe County Public Schools Board of Education. And Megan and I were homeless at the time. Megan was a homeless student, and they were supposed to go forward and immediately put her in school when I first requested it back in September, without any type of delay. You will hear the delays and barriers that they're putting in the way in regards to Megan's enrollment. But Megan was enrolled December 14, 2016. But better yet and still, I was told after I did Megan's enrollment that there had to be something wrong with that, because according to North Carolina law, all of these nice assistant superintendents and all these other people with high authority, yes, they could be at that meeting, but it was somebody that was very important that wasn't at that meeting, and that being a principal, because I was told that according to North Carolina law, the principal is the one who do enrollment placement. But Megan was enrolled into homebound education. She was not given any given any grade placement, nor was she enrolled into any kind of school, any school by name. But she was enrolled into the Edgecombe County Public Schools, homebound education setting. A lot of this stuff that was said during that meeting is not on this tape, but this is the tape that Edgecombe County Public Schools sent to me. But also, I did contact Miss Rita Roberts back about why come, was there supposed to be a principal there to enroll Megan into school when we did the enrollment of Megan into Edgecombe County Schools. And she was angry. And they changed my daughter's family assessment, because on the original family assessment, Edgecombe County DSS, November 28, 2016, found my daughter safe with me, with nothing. But after I questioned this enrollment that they did, as well as I filed a complaint with the U.S. Department of Education, U.S. Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights, on behalf of Megan, because they violated Megan's right to attend, enroll in school without any barriers as a homeless student. But, and among other things that was filed in the complaint, but that was basically what it was about. And then all of a sudden, there's a second DSS assessment, but over the top of it, the word safe, it has enrolled the child in school. And somehow Megan in my custody, not the state custody now. At this time, she's still in my custody. But while she's in my custody, somehow on December 16th, 2016, without me knowing or Megan knowing, after I questioned why there wasn't a principal there to do the enrollment for Megan in the Edgecombe County Schools, somehow in the documents that I received after they removed her from my custody, it revealed that somehow the school system had, Edgecombe County Public Schools and Social Services had a meeting without me and Megan because we wasn't invited, and they changed Megan's setting from being in homebound education to being enrolled in traditional school setting in Phillip Middle School in Edgecombe County Schools, and had a principal name up there. But nobody never told me of Megan. They never gave Megan a schedule, never gave Megan any books, never provided Megan any type of transportation to get to and from school. Never provide Megan with any, anything she needed as an EC student for all of that time. Nothing. But then remove custody January 31st. 2017. Which is very unjust. Because these people were looking out for their best interests and not the best interests of my child. If they could set it up, in which they did, and that is a conflict of interest, more than a conflict of interest. What these people have done is criminal. Tampering with government official documents and more. But
primary, this voting was not an area of speech.
Excuse me, I may have got it turned the wrong way. Give me an opportunity to rewind.
Okay, so this is an enrollment meeting for Megan Cook, and today is December the 14th, and we are beginning the meeting at 3:30 p.m. If we could all introduce ourselves, please, and let's go around the table. I'm Shauna Andrews, Director of Middle Grade.
Cook. Joyce Cook, Megan Cook.
Calvin Bridges, Associate Superintendent.
Rita Vibrant, Director of Exceptional Children.
Marcia Dance is Edgecombe County DSS.
I'm Bonnie Whitehurst, Edgecombe DSS, Social Work Supervisor.
Okay, welcome everybody again, and here's an agenda that I would like to pass out so everybody has a copy of this kind of today's meeting.
Verify we're recording.
Yes, and we are recording this meeting. Everybody will take a look at today's agenda. One of the first things we want to do is introductions and the purpose of the meeting. Go over the educational history and any areas of concern, enrollment options that may be available, and look at the enrollment paperwork that we have today so that we can get as much completed as absolutely possible, and then decide on what are our next steps. Everybody in agreement with the agenda? Okay. All right. So we've all introduced ourselves, and one of the reasons, Ms. Cook, that we wanted the team is because there are decisions that we have to make that you have communicated to me in email about the best setting and the best place for Megan due to some circumstances. So our purpose today really is to get the enrollment process started and get Megan enrolled in school, which is number one. And then begin on a plan of what we can do to ensure that Megan is successful in school. What would be the best placement for her? What do we need to collect in order to make that decision that is in the best interest of Megan? Okay? So, beginning with her educational history, can you kind of recap for the team a little bit about when was the last time Megan was in school and kind of her history with education?
Megan was last time in school was 2012, 2015 years. And at that point, that is when I requested for her to get enrolled in public school because I got started at a school board meeting even for the court process. And I filed a note and all things to experience, and I could homeschool her. And the cover of the assault that taken place, I received this letter from the school board attorney, and I can no longer communicate with schools with the employees of on the property of schools in their property or campuses or whatever, and that prevented them from allowing her to enroll. And she hasn't been in school since then. I haven't received any education since then. I've made numerous requests, and and everything that I know this is entering school. Until, I think it's about October 2015, I went to kind of school suspended that letter. And that's when the process went forward to try to get her back in school. Myself to contact myself personally, enroll her in school, but that wasn't all that successful. And as I said, she was in the homeschool. She was placed when she was in public school. They declined to use her in the independent evaluation that she got because it said that her primary disability was in her area of speech impairment, and that she had spent 2 years in public school setting and had taught her that she needed to learn. And prior to that, the school system had said she was loudly retarded, and once the school social workers had used her information, put false information in her IT, her parental evaluation part of it, in order for her to pass and become like a part of her secondary job as a mental health provider. And even with that, when they Vicky Center, where it wasn't social services, but it was took place, whatever they told us, I was playing the Vicky Center I did. But that also hindered her, because I mean, they just written at her independent evaluation, her IT for the school system. That's why I was asking y'all what y'all using, because a lot of that stuff is not true, because the social worker said that I said that my daughter hallucinates and all types of things in order for her to become part of her be eligible for her mental health service program. And when I disagreed with that, I was told that I was stupid and just didn't understand. And that is the secondary part of it. That's how she became, because with the IU from the University of North Carolina, the government disabilities, they recommended that she not be retained because it was not her fault, her fault that she was having the issues that she was having. And back in 2008, 09, they enrolled her in school, approved her for free lunch, and then told me they had so many children that had failed kindergarten, they didn't have room for her to attend. And I believe what they said at that time.
What school was that?
Wednesday on this area, Rocky Mountain. That's Rocky Mountain School.
What's this?
Yes, okay. No, Wednesday.
I'm sorry.
Wednesday.
And that was in Nash County?
Yes, ma'am. 2008, 2009. I thought that was Wilson County. No, Wilson County, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, and until I moved in September. Okay. Thank you. But that is the years that she has received no education, and I've been told the only way the letter got rescinded because when I contacted the Department of Justice, I read the letter and someone told them that I was violating your constitutional rights and your rights, but of all the school employees also. She can't tell whoever, number one, she can tell because there's a court process. I'm not her pro C rep on the person that's challenging her in court. She can't tell me who I can and cannot speak to that deny my due process and my right to speak to someone that is calling me. The question of in court.
Okay.
And
so I read the letter, and I may have misinterpreted it, but it looked like that you couldn't communicate with certain people, but you could enroll her.
No. She told me I could not. That's the letter they sent in August. And the second letter is the letter that she also sent back and told me, sent me an email, and when I asked her who signed it, because on the back of it, if you look on the third page, you see it's an R or something or another. Okay. But it's not her issue, but she told me that when she sent me this email back, she told me that I sent the letter to myself. Okay. That's why I asked for clarity.
When is the last evaluation, independent or school evaluation?
That was 2010.
And who did that evaluation?
University of North Carolina Development of Disabilities.
Okay. Do you have that with you?
No, ma'am. I told y'all I requested the records the school system had provided it. That's why I asked y'all, I sent those emails and asked you what it is that I needed to go back to the department for that.
School requested
Western County. I requested it. I had, as a matter of fact, when they had this issue with the same social workers that was prior to her with the Nash County, the lady, Ms. Diane Miller, was the one that told me that she was the one that was going to get Macon School records for Western County Schools, North Carolina Public Education for homeschool. Then she turned around and told me they're not going to do an investigation, and that for that fact, that she was she couldn't get me the records. So
it's not, you're right, and I can explain that. That is not a Nash County investigation, it's a Wilson County investigation.
Well, she told me that she had some type of permission to investigate. She said she got special permission. Right. I told her I didn't want to think about that, but...
Ms. Andrews, can you get those records? Can our school system request those records from Wilson County School System? Right,
in our enrollment packet, one of the things that we have that we're going to present today as a part of the enrollment packet is a records request, and it will go directly to Wilson County Schools, and it needs Ms. Cook's signature in order to
So
at all in her school history, with your permission, they would be able to see. Is that correct?
As far as I know, Dr. Roberts, as far as EC goes as well.
And the fact that you received it is not the problem. I mean, that it's not accurate. That's what I always try to tell you.
Right. So once they get it though, they could ask you what part you feel is not accurate and figure out.
Well, see, that's why I need the lawyer in. Because where I feel what's going on, like I said, in 2008, 2009, they told me the school system in St. Louis County, National Department of Public Instruction told me that I could not even discuss it in an IEP meeting. Because the lack of instruction in English and math, she was not enrolled in school. They denied her education. The only time they had service of provision that provide for any child would be if that child was a student in the school system.
Okay, now, this is where we have a little rule up here. A little difference of opinion, I think. In order for them to start somewhere, to figure out where Megan needs to be. First of all, let me ask this question. Do you mind if I ask this question? Do you want her in school? Is your goal
My goal is to be in school. My thing is for her to get the right grade, because Megan was a first grade student in 2010.
Miss Andrews, is the goal to enroll her in school? And that's our goal as well. So we're all on the same page in regards to what she needs, and that's to be enrolled in school.
So I mean, where's the right grade for her? Because she missed 3 years.
So how do you propose that we figure out?
Ma'am, I don't know that. That's why I asked y'all. Y'all know the education. No, I don't.
Well, I can answer that. I think with y'all's support is that we first start with the records from Wilson County, and we start from there.
Those records are old. She has missed 3 years of school. No education. So whatever those records say, that's not the word right now.
But her early
current status. Her current status right now. What was back then, a lot of stuff has changed from where she was then up until now. She's been without an education for 3 years. So my thing is you can't base something on what was then now.
True.
And my thing is, that's why I asked her, that's why she was telling me about the testing part. He said, you got to get the child where she is now, not where she was. Where she was is not going to have anything to affect her ability to learn now. But my thing is for her getting out of school for 3 years, when she comes back in the school system, the reality going to get her. Because she's going to be around other children that's her age. In fact, they told her the age appropriate. She's in the first grade in public school. Promoted to the 4th grade in homeschool. This child's 14 years old. Now, where she's going to get credits from, she don't have.
So let me clarify. So the last time she attended public school, she was in 1st grade.
Yes, ma'am. They see the mother her. They did not. University of North Carolina said that what they wanted her to do is be promoted because it wasn't her fault. The school system decided they didn't care, and they retained her back in the 1st grade at 10.
Now you homeschool her?
No, when I homeschool her, what I did was homeschool her to provide her the provisions that the University of North Carolina government disability said, because they said if I didn't, it would harm her. So the school system already knew what was going to take place before they did what they did, because it's in her independent evaluation. So because of her being 10, and she's larger than the other students, and the other things that were taking place had an effect upon her.
So who evaluated her to be in the 4th grade?
She had a 3rd grade. She's promoted to 4th grade. She had an evaluation done in the homeschool. That's why I requested the homeschool record. I requested it.
Who's actually in the homeschool?
I did.
So is it your opinion that she is 4th grade level at this time?
No, you have to keep academics. When you homeschool, you have certain academics that you have to qualify to keep for your child, because your child may possibly enter into college or whatever.
So is it your opinion as her teacher in homeschool that she would be appropriate for 4th grade?
Well, it's my opinion, and I'm not her teacher 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe that would be a opinion, but not now, ma'am. That's what I'm saying.
Do you have an opinion about what her grade level may be?
I do not, because simply like I said, ma'am, whatever was then is not now. And I'm very uncomfortable talking to her about it, because she's very in her presence, because she's very uncomfortable about it.
Would you like to have her somewhere else? I don't know about that.
And she's very ashamed of it. And it's all with her greatness.
There's no need to be ashamed of it.
It is a need to be ashamed of it, because she is. If you're 14 years old, she's in the 1st grade or the 4th grade.
Right.
Everybody else, she has nieces that go to school in the household. I mean,
can y'all speak to what her age level and grade level, you would not put her in kindergarten?
No, we would not. No. My thing is, like I said, when you get credit to whatever that you're going to need, where you're going to get it from. Can't just place her somewhere and tell her, you here, let's get you this.
I think that when you work
so that's why I was saying,
is it okay with you if she goes to my secretary and she's sitting in her office, just write down this call, the door will be open,
just so we can talk, and I don't want her to feel uncomfortable.
Maybe you want to go? And
I'll walk it down.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You've been comfortable with that.
yeah. Most of the time, well, that's why other people have to do it for her.
Sure.
But not going to something and have a niece that's actually her age. Then she had to watch go to school and she tried to talk to with them.
I've got the children myself, okay, and I've been in Edgecombe County for many, many years. My experience again is that, I'll use our twins for an example. They were tested. I had them independently tested at one point, okay? What I have found out is that testing, even early on, helps me make decisions for them even now, and helps the school system make decisions for them even now. So even though there's records from for now, it helps information about her early
You got somebody making some decisions based upon lies. That's my thing.
and that's not what they would do.
Well, but if you see that it's untrue, it is, because a lot of times I tell her, she be putting her in her report. You go in there looking at records and it's saying certain things about me, her mother.
And that's not what
They put things that relates to my daughter's ID for me.
And that's not
And
what
when you go back and people read stuff like that, they form an opinion about her. And see, that stuff should not be in there. It should not be said that she's retarded when she's not.
No, ma'am.
But the school system had a social worker or whatever that was working for her benefit. Her sucking that
I think
down.
what we're talking about is early testing or maybe early services that she received that
I don't know about the early testing and the early services and other kind of stuff that they want to offer her. Now, I just told you for 2008, 2009, they told me, disregarded, ma'am, you're not even going to discuss it.
Okay.
And that's why I sent you this picture that I sent you with your text messages of that letter when I found it.
Okay.
Where they say we're not even going to discuss this in a meeting. This was 2008, 2009. Too bad it happened to her. But you're getting the wrong understanding about what a lack of math and lack of instruction in math and languages is, because it's for a child that's in school. Yours is not in school.
Okay.
But she was enrolled and approved for 3 months. And they just sent her the money back. They just told me that she couldn't attend school because they had too many children that fell into God that they didn't have room for her team.
Okay.
And at that time, I was gullible enough to believe it.
Okay. So where do we go from here?
Well, I have a couple of clarifying questions, Ms. Cook, and this is just so that I can get the timeline correct. I know that you said that the last time she was enrolled in it looked like Nash County at Winstead Elementary, she was in 1st grade. She was enrolled in Wilson County Schools for a while. Is that correct? And did she attend the Wilson County School?
Yeah, she did attend Wilson County Schools.
Okay.
Was promoted from the kindergarten to 1st grade. That's when she went to 1st grade to Wilson County.
And that was at
Winstead Avenue.
Winstead Avenue. Okay. So, when we request records from Wilson County, we would request those records from Winstead Avenue School.
Yes, ma'am. That school name, Winstead Avenue.
And then you homeschooled her, and what were the years when you homeschooled her?
That was for 2010, for 2011, 2012. The first years in which she had evaluation done, the school would comply with it, and evaluation said that if they retained her or caused her no harm or whatever the case may be. So yes, under duress, I did homeschool her.
Okay.
Because they went against what the IEP said. That they would not consider it. They paid, didn't even want to pay for it. Matter of fact, they didn't pay for it. They let Medicaid pay for it. When they were originally set up, they refused to have it done. That's why somebody from disability rights or whoever else interceded on make it bad and said this doesn't make sense. And they did refer to the University of North Carolina Development Disability. And then Donna Yerby and some of the other people there did the testing on me. And when the results came back, she was not retarded, made the school mad. And then they added even more when it said she'd been in school for 2 years in a general setting. School setting, they had no how to learn, the basic skills to learn.
So the last time you homeschooled was the year?
2012, 2013.
That is the last education.
What, 2000, yeah.
The last time she's been in either.
I made request, yes ma'am, I made request then, and after the fall, I couldn't homeschool her. I made request for her to be homeschooled back in February, that was March. Sometime I could on March 2013. The school board attorney, that's the only person I could communicate with, she didn't respond within 10 days, and I knew that if she didn't respond within those 10 days, that I would be the person that was going to take her over.
Okay.
And in 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, I made multiple more requests. I've even had her father take me to court for child support in the name of because she wasn't in school. He felt that he needed to get a decrease in income, a decrease in child support payment. And after he did that, during that process, whatever, I presented the letter that's from the 1st to 18th letter from the school board attorney. All of my letters were out, emails and stuff that I sent her requesting enrollment per that letter. The judge signed in my favor. As a matter of fact, he wrote on my judgment that I had complied with all the North Carolina attendance law recommendation of requirements for myself and her parents. I submitted that court case document to Rachel H. Still was with her in school. But now Rachel H. was the school attorney. That's the only one that was on that letter that I could communicate with. No other Wilson County School employees except her.
Okay.
But what, Dr. Roberts, what information do you need that you're hearing from the conversation that you're in?
Yes. I'm very interested in what services, EC services that she's had in the past. She said she was identified as having speech difficulties.
They didn't file services, that's what I'm telling you. The only time that Wilson County Schools put forth an effort to provide her services was back when she was a homeschool student. And then they actually used her IEP after I enrolled her in homeschool. They put an IEP in place for her. And I sent you the documentation for that. And then told me that they didn't have minutes for it because I wasn't invited to it. They would keep minutes for a meeting. But like I said, ma'am, they did nothing. So the thing they said is I was being argumentative or whatever with them because I told them that them and I, their social workers, but she put in my daughter's record for her, saying that I said my child hallucinates. And then added the fact that she said that I said that I spent more time taking care of my older children, I neglected my daughter, and that's why she had educational problems.
And I think we're at the point where we need more information because, like you said, there's some problems maybe with the information that the school would have, that you disagree with those records. So it sounds to me like it would be fair to Megan to collect more information and really get an understanding for does she still have a qualifying disability and what services does she require for that disability. So we really do need to collect some more information on that, and which would mean that you would be invited to an IEP meeting, and our team would work through that process.
Well, my concern is I'm willing to work through whatever it is I need to, exactly where you're going to place her until this work can get done. Because like I said, with Megan, my child was actually trying to commit suicide 2-3 times dealing with these issues. And that's why I come act out talking in front of her. So when she gets to holding her head down and whatever, I know she's uncomfortable. And I overstep my bounds.
Has she received any counseling or mental health services?
Ma'am, I could not receive counseling or mental health services simply because the Wilson County school workers, the attorney said I could no longer communicate with any of the school employees. No, I'm talking about personally. That's what she said, any of them at all. And with my knowing that Wilson County schools had a social worker that works for a mental health program provider, which is one of the ones you incorporated, I knew there was a possibility that I could. I got definitely sick at one point in time, being contact with school employees. I got definitely sick at one point in time. I had to ask her to go to the doctor. She gave me permission. I gave you that letter also, the third page of it. But she gave me permission to go to the doctor, and I would not be violating her letter if I came in contact with any Wilson County school employees.
Okay, so have you had any mental health counseling at all in your life?
I have had therapy in my past. Megan has also been to, my therapy came from the fact when I first came to Wilson, they allowed my daughter to walk away from school and know that she had post-traumatic stress disorder, and she's on her way home, and she got lost.
So what is her PTSD from?
Being sexually assaulted at school, she was 6 years old, that's right now.
Was that at Winston?
No, it was at Wilson Military School. Yes, ma'am, that's Rocky Mountain School.
By an adult or by a child?
They really would say. She said it was about 2 boys at school. The doctor said it was about 2 boys at school. Keep her home safe from those boys. The school board attorney was on Lamar said he pretty much didn't care. Said nothing happened to her, and if I didn't stop saying that it did, it would be hell in my life, and he still has.
Did she get any counseling because of that?
She did. That's why we moved to Wilson. When we left Rocky Mountain, the therapy, I said that my daughters had completed their therapy now. They need to get in the school system that was going to help them. Because Max Rocky Mountain was doing nothing. And And they recommended that I move, and that's what I did. And I think God didn't move far enough.
Who diagnosed her with PTSD?
She ended up in the hospital trying to kill herself.
What hospital?
Holly Hill.
Do you remember when that was?
2003, 2004, sometime in there.
She would have been how old at that?
And she was about 6, 7. She was about 7 years old at that time.
What did she try to do?
I honestly truly don't at this point in time, but that's exactly how she ended up. She got stressed. Matter of fact, the doctor told me that because they recommended her to be transferred out of that school from where the boys were, and the school attorney would do it. They'd come out.
And it sounds like you've had an awful lot of stress behind all of this.
Well, ma'am, my stress is the point that I'm saying that my children need assistance on my child, even the other ones are grown now. They're going over their life doing what they need to do. I'm still dealing with ladies. I'm still dealing with people telling me that you can't discuss this and these or whatever. We're not going to give you any help. My thing is, I don't have a problem with seeking help, and I don't have a problem with getting help or helping somebody get her help. But I got a problem with somebody telling me, ma'am, we created this problem, kids can dismiss it and move on. Let your child deal with it on her own.
But here, in Edson County, you have a team of people that are willing to work with you, including social services, who recognize that it sounds like she needs counseling. No one is affiliated with the school system and the mental health system over here. It would work the county school system or social work.
But see, my thing also is how you got involved. Wilson County contacted somebody at school or whomever it is, last county, telling them that I got a mental condition, that I'm not willing to enroll my child in school, all of these lies.
Okay, and that's,
And see, now that's my thing. We got a lot of people, and I don't know about what you investigate, I'm not talking about other people, I'm talking about me.
And I'm telling
And
you.
the report that was made against me.
Okay.
Now, Wilson County School said all of their concern or whatever, why they didn't let her go to school those 3 years that they did.
And I cannot answer that question.
And me neither.
Right.
But my thing is, why you gonna wait 3, 4 years later and they come out to the parents?
Okay.
If you did the crime, why you want me to do the time?
Have you ever had a diagnosis for anything that concerning Megan or yourself or anything like that?
No, ma'am.
Nothing. Okay. Okay. So,
And if I did, I truly do not recall, and I don't need to tell mine.
okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Thank you for that.
I don't need to tell
She
mine.
was sexually assaulted at Wilfred Elementary.
Who?
Your daughter.
Not that one. I told you this is daughter that's wrong.
I'm sorry.
I thought it was Megan as well.
You said Megan had PTSD.
No, I told you my other daughter that was in that Rocky Mountain School. She was 6 years old at the time. That could have been Megan. Megan was not.
Ms. Cook, I'm confused as I can be.
And you think I did that I'm not supposed to do that?
No.
So the God bless your mercy, I'm not.
I'm confused.
I was telling you that was my older
I'm
daughter.
sorry. I misunderstood you. I was confused.
I told you she was grown now.
I was asking if Megan had any mental health counseling in regard to...
No, ma'am. I told you she could not get mental health counseling because of that letter.
Okay. Okay, I got you. All right.
As a matter of fact, the only way that she actually began to go to the doctor is because I contacted the Department of Health and Human Services. I sent them a copy of the letter. I sent some other people a copy of the letter. They sent me back a letter. They contacted somebody from the XOAR or something like that. They told me that this Cook, number one, the school system should have resolved this years ago. So, and then they said this Cook, number two, who it is, they say they are the ones that provide the financial benefits to the government for schooling, but they don't do investigations. But they say, this is very much wrong.
Okay.
Because how could somebody allow a child to go through this?
Right.
And then I learned that the school system, when I go to the DA's office years ago, they tell me, ma'am, we don't even have a law on the book to define whether or not these people are criminals.
Right. So Dr. Roberts is requesting that you participate in IEPs in order to determine and to gather more information about what Megan's needs are now. Are you willing to do that with the school system here?
I'm willing to do that, but I'm willing to get the tax done. What you say having a meeting is we got nothing to discuss. I'm not discussing what's happening then, I'm talking about what's happening now.
Dr. Roberts, is there testing that needs to be done specifically?
There could very well be testing. The first step in that is for the IEP team to come together, look at the information we already have, and then agree on what testing needs to be done, agree on what information needs to be collected in order to make the decision.
What my thing is what's going to happen later while we doing all of this. We have had 3, 4 years, we have rejected her in a 6th grade class, or whoever, and let her get like she was in here. Because she's going to get even more depressed. Even more things going to happen to her in reality comes.
Do you have interest at all in having her just attend school? And
I have more interest in having her attend school, but I mean, the proper place.
So that she can get acclimated to being in a school setting, so that the testing and the information can be gathered?
Well, ma'am, the testing needs to come first. You can't do that for a child that's got the issues that she has.
And this is really, I think we're able to make a good faith effort and really work with you, because if it was my daughter, I wouldn't want her rushed into a school and she's not used to going to it every day. And, you know, one option that you might want to consider is maybe sending a homebound teacher out to the house and letting her work on her assignment independently and then building up to being able to attend school.
But my thing with that, ma'am, is that what they have missed is peers. Those things is not only education. There's other things in her life that she's been advised of for several years now. And those things also take a part in how she feels mentally about herself, being around other children her age. Other children pick on her. Other children don't want to be around her. They don't want to associate with her. Because they go to school, she don't. Because we're stupid. The things that she's invited to other schools would take place.
What would you think is the ideal way to get her integrated into school? Like, would you want her to start going all day long to start with, or a modified schedule, or start out with homebound while we're collecting information? What do you think?
What I would want for her, and what I want is not important, is what she needs. What I would want for her is for her to get tested. For making the things done, if you know where she's at, whatever she's done, what she needs. But what I need is to have no take upon her, because I'm not here. What's going to take place for her, she needs from where she is into where we think it's going to be better when it's not. My goal is not for my child to go somewhere and try to harm herself because she's going to be around a group of children that they tell her she's stupid. What you mean? You bigger than us. Whatever. And her mindset, not mine, is where I'm taking from. If I don't know where she is, I can address and help her with the needs that she has and that she needs. It's just like telling me go back to where she was then. When Megan was in homeschool, I took up time, did those things and the things that University of North Carolina recommended that I do. But Vivian is still now. She can't even spell some of the words she learned how to spell in. In fact, you know, my thing is how you want to place her somewhere and say, okay, this is the first grade 14-year-old, third grade 14-year-old, we go to the level we want her to be until we can do what we need to do.
Now, how about the homebound? Because she mentioned possibly a homebound teacher coming out, getting her acclimated, and learning a little bit more about her and you in those situations. And then you don't want kids to pick on her. That might be a possibility.
The homebound teacher can help us collect some data, some information about where she is, and that can help us make a decision let her graduate.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. That would have to be approved by her father. But again, like I said, homebound is where she is. Where she needs to be is in the mainstream where other children are. She's been homebound and like isolated 3 or 4 years. She's had that. My thing is what else? The child is tired of being at home.
What you mentioned her father, what is his role in this piece?
Well, it is home at this point in time because he illegally picked it out of ours. And I could even give the address to that county. Because he told me that all these issues with my daughter, his daughter, was pretty much my fault. There wasn't nobody going to start blaming him for it.
Does he have an opinion about her school? Does she need to be in it?
I don't know. You can ask her. I mean,
well, I mean, you share a child together. Y'all had a discussion about it?
ma'am, to have the discussion with her father about education is just like 90 days. Like he said, boy, he hasn't been to an IEP meeting or anything since she's been born. I had one. I have.
Okay.
And either then, like I said, is willing to take her in child support to get a nutrition child support because she's not in school. Then he had an opportunity to go and enroll her. Because I asked the judge on that court date. And he would let her come to his house and live. He didn't have to pay the increase in child support that was granted to me. And the judge told us, he asked the judge asked him, he said yes. The judge told him, because I was not giving up my rights to the child, he told us to go back to social services and get him a grievance wrote up. When it came time to do that, Mr. Tripp decided, no, I'm not going to do it. And he did. But all of that is the court documents, because my goal is then. Was to get her in school.
And I don't know third of what these ladies know about testing, but just from personal experience, there's a lot of different tests to give students. And if if they don't know enough information, they may actually give her myself something she shouldn't even test for. I think that's what you're saying, Dr. Roberts, is that they need to at least get to know her a little bit and talk with her and you about what her needs are in order to get the right test. I'm thinking that there's not just one generic test that you can hand Megan today and say, hey, this and we can figure it out. Am I understanding right?
Very well said.
So they need to get to know her a little bit before they can target what test to give her.
Well, if there should be some type of conclusive test or something another they could give to test certain grade-wise. Even with homeschool, when they transfer from homeschool into public school, they give them a core test, they give them some other type of test, if the grades or whatever, because my homeschool was specifically affiliated because I'm a minister. But even with that, they can give them a core test.
Right, so part of that first meeting is to get your written consent to conduct that test.
Well, you can do everything, I don't have a problem, and let's get the test and get it done.
The people in those meetings are required members, and those people aren't here today. So, and also you would need a 10 days notice and an invitation, and you would need to know ahead of time what the purpose of the meeting would be. Because there are a lot
I didn't even know first what this meeting was going to be, ma'am. My thing is, like I said, I'm concerned about getting my child education all these 10 days and waiting for this and waiting for that. It's not helping her. She done had 4 years of no education. To whose benefit? Not hers.
right.
And to whose cause? Not hers.
Some services in good faith. So we have the same concern as you. We want her to go ahead and have some access to services. What disabilities do you believe that she has?
Ma'am, like I told you, I can't tell you what she has now. After 3 years of no education, I don't know who could.
It makes it a little difficult to provide services when
It made it difficult for her to get enrolled in private schools. It made it difficult for her to get enrolled in other schools because they took and say, hey, what you get last year? We need to agree to what was last year.
we really need some good information.
None.
You know, and a home health teacher could really start right away. Again, go out to the home and do some assessments or do some assignments and really collect some good information. Because as you say, we know very little about where she's at now and as far as her disabilities go. So we really need to get some really good information so we can make a good decision for her.
We got either or need to know. Like I said, she's been homebound for 3-4 years now. Isolated from her peers. Not being able to go to school. All the other issues that she's been having to deal with. My concern is getting her out of that setting. She needs to be around her peers. She needs to be able to get in there. When they is 14, she's only 15 and late. I realize that the dropout in North Carolina is 16. My child is not going to be on that list of dropouts because she never got the opportunity to drop in. You can't take something from a child and then give her what you want her to have instead of what she needs. And then how can you tell me what she needs when you base something or whatever?
And I think that's what the homebound services would do. She would be enrolled in Edgecombe County Public Schools. It would not be like homeschool. It would be one of our teachers that actually comes out to the home, collects that data, and starts working with Megan one-on-one and gets to know her. And I think the goal, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dr. Robert, is to then transition her in to school with her peers so that we make that transition and implement, and it's not just tomorrow she walks through the doors and she's in a classroom with 25 other children, and we're not certain of which is the most appropriate grade level. We are going to take into consideration, of course, her age, because it's not appropriate to put her back than the last grade level she was in. I don't think anybody at the table agrees that that's the most appropriate thing to do.
It's not appropriate to put her somewhere she would need to be. You can't give a child a grade.
So how do we figure that out?
And then I don't know, that's what I asked y'all.
I'm telling you how we figure it out. We get a home health teacher to go out, get in and make them work one-on-one. And then we decide as a team, the school system decides into the IEP process and me what is needed next in regards to testing. Did I hear that? Yeah. About that correct? So that is what here needs to happen today, that you need to get her enrolled. Let's have the homebound teacher go out. Let's meet, and I'm assuming that will be after the holiday. And then let's integrate her into the school system based on what her needs, her educational needs.
But still, you're not telling me what grade work she's going to do.
We don't know yet.
That's right. So she's coming to us.
Ms. Cook, if you can't tell us what grade she needs to be in? There's no way these ladies or I can tell you. It has to be worked on slowly.
Well, ma'am, she had 3 years of slowly putting it on.
But it didn't have, okay, we got to leave that. We got to leave that right here.
Can't be there because it's her. Can't be there because it's her.
But you can't tell me, you can't tell us what testing or show us where she's at, so we have to start.
Do you not do independent evaluations on other children? Full scale evaluation on other children?
Without a school recommendation? Are you asking the Department of Social Services?
You can do group evaluations, I mean, for school system.
Oh, I can do winter
You don't
evaluation.
transfer into from other school systems or whatever the case may be. Those children are getting, my other daughter, when they was in high school.
Those children also come with records.
But they don't know that's the problem, because they don't have their records.
Okay, let me
My homeschool closed and I couldn't give them records.
because I don't think we're moving as quickly as we probably need to. Let me just ask you this question. Are you going to cooperate with the school system and their recommendations?
I don't have a problem cooperating.
Okay, so what does that mean to you right now?
It means to me right now that my child needs testing, and I should not have been told that I was needing for testing.
You weren't told that. You were told that you were talking about enrollment.
No. I was told by you. That's not what you told me yesterday when you came by home, because I recorded it. I told you you can pull it up. I told you it's possible testing.
We don't know what their process is. I will be here today.
Like I said, ma'am.
Okay, so
It's out there with what the situation was, and I mean,
where do you propose to start?
my thing is, like I said, I asked y'all on those emails, so I need you to do this thing for me. Nobody said anything for me.
We need you to sign consent, I think.
Consent to do what?
To put in her records and to enroll her.
I mean, for her into what? What grade? What grade?
We don't have a determination of a grade yet until we have someone go in and work with Megan, because like you said, we don't have the records from years ago. She's not where she was when she left school the last time, so that's what we have to determine.
So can I ask a real basic question? Real basic question of the school system. Can you work with a child and test them and do these services without her being involved?
It is possible to do that and just say that we're working on an IEP document, but the idea, I mean, she really does need to be involved.
I think it's appropriate for her to be involved and be our student.
Yeah.
It's appropriate for her to enroll to be a student. My thing, like I said, is with grade. You can't just enroll a child and say, who's 50 years?
Right now today, if we told you a grade level, we would be guessing. That's not a smart thing to do.
And that's not a smart thing for me to do either.
She's 14 years old. She's been several years of school. Our idea is to bring her in, have her enrolled, have her tested, determine which grade level would be most appropriate for her.
So you can't put a prior to that.
I mean, I think we could, but she's not our student until she is enrolled. Once she is enrolled, then we have all the services that we need to provide help for her. Until then, she's not our student.
So her enrollment means that you got to provide her the services based upon her 3 years of education.
Our enrolling her means that we're going to test her, we're going to determine what she needs help with, and then we will provide her with that help.
And that was my thing. I asked y'all what was the options. How are we going to do this? You're saying I send someone into a home. I don't have a home. That's why I cannot see you and agree with you or something. That's why I think you have to ask us to test me.
We'll be glad to do that.
I don't know anything about that. I think
It has to be a home, it could be the library or something like that.
Location. But it begins the process. We have paperwork for
So she's going to be enrolled with no grade.
At this time, we don't know what grade she will be in, but she will be a student for Edgecombe County Public Schools. As soon as we do the testing, and the homebound teacher goes out to begin providing services, she will have an idea of what's best for what's most appropriate.
Then a homebound teacher doing a testing. She's going to give her tests or
She'll probably take assignments. We know that she's 14. She will start with a range of grades. She may start with 5th grade math. She may start with 4th. She'll learn to go up or go down. She'll have a conversation with her. She'll gather a lot of insight, having conversations and bringing out assignments that won't be intimidating, but will give her an idea of these are the type of things we want to see if you're able to do this. If she's not, then it lets her know where do we need to start.
And we're talking about two different kinds of testing. Is that see where Megan's at. Give her maybe guess a little bit of what assignment she might work on, and then build her up to other assignments. Now that's something all teachers do for all students. Then there's a separate, more formal kind of testing where we decide what EC services the child would have, what disabilities does she have. And that's something that you have to attend a meeting and give us your written consent on. And then if that IEP team determines that we need testing, then a psychologist and some other therapists might go out and do formal testing. But that's through the IEP process. And it's different from the homebound teacher just give us an assignment.
Can I guess that, Robert, that where the homebound teacher would predict to start at, some of that information would come from Ms. Cook? Can she read? What does she do on a daily basis? What is her understanding of her ability to comprehend things? Like, does she text? Does she use a cell phone? Can she read things like that? That would be a predictor of where she was. Based on what Ms. Cook believes she can.
Sure, the homebound teacher might also ask what she's interested in.
So the IEP should be based upon micro-testing. It should be based upon what the child is.
But
each every one of us may see her in a separate place.
Ms. Cook,
She only knows where she is.
Ms. Cook, if you asked me what my 15-year-olds were capable of doing and you gave them college work, I would say absolutely not. Because as their mother,
Your 15-year-old haven't been denied for it.
as their mother, I kind of have an idea of what they're capable
Your
of.
15-year-old haven't been denied for it. Your sister can't come to school either.
But where do you believe she should go?
Ma'am, like I said, I couldn't tell you because of where she was and where she is now. After 3 years of education, can you tell me where your child will be? Could you tell me where your child will be if your child is 3 years of education?
I could probably give the school system an idea of what her capabilities are in regards to reading and understanding.
And how would you do that? And then this I should.
How would I do it?
Yes.
Because I'm around her all day long. I would have an idea. I think this monopoly, she was reading a text the other day when she was out. Is that correct? Things like that.
Reading the text is not a problem because that's something that she learned to do. Megan's learned to attest to the fact. They let her know she can read text. And if it's words and stuff like that. My thing is, ma'am, my daughter has learned to stay up all night, sleep all day. Or sleep through her time of children.
She has the enrollment.
So there's things about her that's different than what you see.
And that's why they need to get a homework out of that information. So that's the enrollment package.
So you're going to do testing.
You have to enroll her first. That's what I'm
So the school system's not going to do testing on her unless she's enrolled.
Turning the tape over.
What the correct grade is cannot be determined until she's enrolled. Correct? There's
What is the time frame of that? Her being enrolled and her being tested.
enrolled today.
Not a problem. Her being tested.
Okay, so let's get that done.
No, her being tested, I need to know that time frame. Because she would need to be placed somewhere where she's still isolated from others, the peers at her age.
But if it's the homebound, she wouldn't be isolated. She would be at home.
That's what she said for 3 or 4 years old.
Okay, you're saying two different things. You're saying you don't want her isolated, and you don't want her to be on to school, but you don't want her at home either.
Well, no, my thing is not the fact that I don't want her in school. I don't want her in school. My thing is that I want her appropriately placed in school.
I think we all want her.
Put her in places or whatever the case may be where it might not be her memory.
Come visit with me. And
That
the first
first
week of January, she can come out. Okay, so the first week of January, a homebound teacher will come out. How many times a week can we do 3 days? Can she come out like an hour and a half, 2 hours each time?
Just try. Typically, I start with one or two, just depending on what's going on. And if the homebound teacher probably needs flexibility, like if Megan were to become tired or something like that, that we could adjust the time based on what Megan's able to do. So I think 2 or 3 times the week of January, I can definitely set that up today with our homebound teacher.
Do you think a week or 2 weeks of homebound, and then she's ready for testing?
Well, actually, we could schedule an IEP to determine what tests she needs to put together all the information. Now, we could also have that in the first week of January. And then we would conduct testing sometime within a 90-day timeline. If that's what the IEP determines. And I suspect they will. It sounds like a lot of information is still needed so that we can understand if Megan's impacted by this school.
Well, one of the things that might take place with me, we'll take it back in and ask her how she feels about getting homebound services or what they would be until this plan. I have a problem with it. Maybe not a problem. I don't want my child to be in a worse situation or place she is. Because like I said, she was 3-4 years back again in the home.
The only other alternative to homebound would be for her to enroll in full days, 5 days a week. And I would think that would be overwhelming for her. But as her mother, you could weigh in on that. It kind of, to me, looks like it's going to be a homebound situation with gradually getting her introduced, or it's going to be full enrollment, she's already fully enrolled or full attendance during the week.
Well, I guess that'd be an option that you have to ask Megan about. Because like I said, at 14 years old, she's almost of age where she can actively drop out herself anyhow. And my thing is when you get a child, you can see his name, you get a child that comes to a point with situations like that. Her goal is, at one point in time, she didn't want to go to school. She was saying that she didn't care no more. They wouldn't let her go, so she don't care. But my thing was to keep her motivated, to keep her encouraged, no matter what. It is what it is. You're going to live, not die. You're going forward with this. You're going to find another method. Let's write a letter to somebody else. Write an email to somebody else. Send this letter to somebody else.
And that's not necessary. They're here to enroll them for that. I mean, they're ready.
It's not a problem, like I'm saying. You need to ask Megan. Because as I said, I mean, you need to have a opinion on it too. I'm a parent, like I said, I can't tell you that she's going to be okay with it. And I definitely cannot overrule her feelings, her feelings.
So she says she's not okay. She's going to do it homebound. She's not okay with going to full days.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask y'all about the options before I got
Well, those are the options.
Well, I was going to ask you before I got here.
Ma'am, I don't want to school system.
No, ma'am, I'm not talking to you. I'm saying that's why I'm going to ask for the option of enrollment before I got here so that I can discuss
Without
it.
them gathering that information from you, they're not able to predict what the options are.
Well, then other children enroll.
Other children have experience in school.
That's right, and that's my thing. Stand in the meeting. Other people have been 3 years of school. And because that's not a law.
Do you want to get in here to ask them?
Sure. I think they got me to go up there. Because ain't no balance because nobody's child is. That makes sense 4 years from now back.
Right.
The none this is the fact that, like I said, I mean, how can you measure a child with those based upon what specialist teachers the teacher considered out have? Let's do a assessment on that. Is she a doctor?
She's not.
What she has? What is she a certified teacher? Well, a lot of people are certified teachers, but they're not certified to assist the child who denied 3 years of education. She's before and told.
She's actually, all she does is teach students from home.
Well, I mean, a lot of children get taught from home. Megan was not taught from home. She was denied education. But a lot of children and mine.
Megan was really good with this presenter and the class.
Okay, great. So they want to discuss with you what options they say they have available to do to get enrolled back in school.
I can talk about that. We're really concerned about you doing well in school. We want you to do well in school. We don't want you to be overwhelmed. And so we want to give you some choices. One would be for you to go to start school and go the whole day, every day, 5 days a week, just like all the other students. The other option would be for a homebound teacher to come out to your house or maybe meet you in the library or some other public location and give you individual classes a few times a week and then help you get to the point where you can go to school?
I love thinking about other children, but if that's going to help me get better with myself, I'll do that. And so, like, until I say, or to my kids that I'm ready, would like to be a public school. Like, that's my dream, that I will go to be in, like, a public school where, like, other kids could be in. All my life, I have lots of kids. If I tell them they're going to pick on me or call me retarded, because I'm not like them. And they will call me mean. And I wouldn't like it because, but I gotta, like, be sure because if I do go, like, into a public school, I'm gonna run into something like that. And I can't kind of, like, spazzing out and just fighting and stuff. And that's what my mama told me. That's what my sisters and brothers told me, like I gotta sit through it because it's gonna be people out there that's gonna bully you, call you what they want, some men will get the best of you, and like, and that's why I was like brought up like that. But and y'all think, and I know that I'm ready, but I do need help like with my anger, cause like I got a lot of bit of anger. I'm not gonna lie about that.
And we can help that. We can make some referrals. So next you'd be okay if Dr. Robertson, a homebound teacher, come out a couple days a week. She's working with you on some assignments, figure out kind of where you are, and then you begin to transition and join school.
Yeah.
On a full-time basis. Okay.
So we want that one. Is it still, can you suggest a day of the week and a time and a location? And then I can try to set that up with the homebound teacher so that it's convenient for you and works with the homebound teacher schedule.
I guess your schedule would be that you have a certain time or that you want to come out or whatever, because, I mean, I'm working on whatever she needs. She doesn't allow her to get done.
You prefer mornings or afternoons?
You want to do it in the morning or?
Prefer morning. Okay, I'm not having And is there a day of the week that stands? Is there a day of the week that wouldn't work at all? Like maybe a time when you go out every week, say Wednesdays or something, you know that you work.
I don't go out and all these things.
Okay. And the homebound teacher would call you directly and get directions and let you know she's coming. What phone number should she contact you at?
252 544 3947.
We also would like to consider your daughter since she has the concern that she might have some disabilities. We'd like to consider her for special education classes or services, which means we need to have that IEP meeting so that we can talk about what other information that we need. Can you suggest a day of the week or a time when you can come out to either here or to the school to have that meeting?
Where work? What school?
Well, I mean, that's the location would need to be worked out, but we might even have it here if that works.
Well, it's not a problem. Whether it's to enter her, whatever case may be, wherever you can have it done. I try to get one of the social workers tonight to bring me a final with you here. It's not a problem.
We'll aim for the first week in January, and since you all probably provided transportation, maybe we can coordinate with a date sometime this week, and then we could get an invitation out and make sure that you all have that invitation.
I was going to tell you we would prefer not Thursday morning, but you know how they want to do that, I understand. And we can do it that day. It's just not the best of it.
How about Friday morning? Okay. Let me check on that Friday morning, and definitely get invitation out this week.
I have the whole packet there for Ms. Cook to sign. And while she is doing that, so far what I have for next step is going to be that we're going to complete the enrollment paperwork today so that we can enroll in Edgecombe County Public Schools today. Dr. Roberts is going to set up homebound services that we are going to aim to begin that first week of January. And Dr. Roberts is going to send out an invitation for an IEP meeting to be scheduled the first week of January. That's on the Friday. We will also, because one of those forms, Ms. Cook, that she will be signing is a request to release records. So we will be requesting any records from any schools that she has attended so that we have that. Did I miss a next step? There are some the documents that will need to go with enrollment that we will need to collect. Today we can enroll with the understanding that we will be collecting those documents. And a couple of things that we request normally are the birth certificate. I know that you put something in the email about, I'm not certain if you had a copy of the birth certificate or if that was something that was in storage.
So then I have to put, okay, so all right, then you can wait for you to do it.
Okay. I can make a copy of that right now, if that is fine. And if you have a photo ID, that's all right. I will be able to do that. And then the only other thing is for the residents, is there a proof of residence bill, anything in your name is Cook, or is it all in
Their father's name is, okay, we have a whole stuff about her home business.
Okay. That would be what?
Excuse me, my little granddaughter's asking something.
you'll read them right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, I can't think of the second one, but yeah.
information, which one you put, the last school she attended, or?
Yes, ma'am, if you could put the last public school she attended, that would be helpful.
Can you print your name? Can you print your name? And Ms. Cook, I will tell you, I personally don't give permission to my children to be videotaped or photographed. That's up to you.
Videotape or take photographs. At school, yes, ma'am.
Sometimes they'll put them on like the website and advertise or whatever event's going on. I mean, I personally don't do that. That's up to you.
That's your right. That's right.
The reason I asked if you would print your name is I have children who are 15 that don't write in cursive because they weren't taught, so they print their name most of the time too.
that's the one where we request the records from the other schools.
And what are you interested in?
I'm like to be on the family because my dad, he don't got a lot of books. So when I come to my family in the house, like my brother, because he got most books at his house, I just sit there and I just read them.
You like to read?
Yeah. I don't like to do memory, but I really. But yeah.
I mean, do you like to cook? Do you like to be outside? Other things like that?
I like to be outside, but I don't like dirt, because I got my feet one day to sit outside. Yeah. Like to cook. I like to spider things, and I like everything. I let everybody be judged of what I take.
Okay, so you're creative.
Yeah.
Good.
This is like something you understand that we do a pretty agreement that the school gets permission to do it. So maybe you can sign, I guess, with their signature. And if you don't got any appointment, you just have a perfect sign.
Those sites are blocked to correct.
They are, but sometimes kids can find ways around that. See it blocked.
But it's not as easy as just click on it.
No. But you really know.
Hold on.
I'm not sure I'm saying that. Is there anything particular you want to
Where did you put your name? You did a great job. Look at me. Tell the scribble.
You look better than I was.
No, it's not. No, that's John. I may not be able to read this tomorrow. So you'll be able to see what you wrote tomorrow. I may not understand what I wrote tomorrow. You'll like to look at all the shop.
We'll have to make another copy of that. We're going to need more than one scroll. This might be okay. It's already blank. Okay. And then, okay.
Is it okay to make a copy of the signature?
I would make a copy of the signature. Okay, so we might need some more. Technically, back.
Can you show me to the restaurant?
What kind of book did you say? We get this tree. Or Doctor's Tree.
Have you ever read June Jones? That's great. I like it. You want to try June Jones book?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go grab one. Okay.
So what you do?
I'm the director of Exceptional Children's Program. So I help people who have disabilities.
Those are some books you can have, and Dr. Bridges is always telling me that I can have room to get you some more if you would like some. Would you like to take some on? Yeah, okay. We got lots of books back there if you like to read. You can take some home and put them in your home library. No problem. Thank you for your manners. Such good manners. Was that good?
Well, last they said, make a
department keeps record of, that we probably will be required.
I would say okay. And then if she is in need, you know, we have 30 days from enrollment to get what she needs. So, and I think you said she has an appointment coming up in January 20th.
Okay. Would that be a good day for you guys? Would that be okay?
Well, it'll be 30 calendar days from today, so that'll run, that's a little bit over. But let's see what the immunization record says, and I can give that to Mallory Anderson, and she can look at it and see exactly what we need.
I have one more little quick thing, if you don't mind, me asking. She mentioned that she feels like she has some anger issues, and you're saying that she may have some issues adjusting to kids and going at school. Would you mind if we gave you some information on therapists in the area that might can help her with that anger and help her adjust to being in a school? How do you feel about that, Megan? I mean, you said you might need to talk to somebody about that.
Yeah, I always wanted just some anger.
How do you feel about that in school?
That's not a problem. Like I said, I think she needs to get comfortable, whatever I mean. Because like I said, with the other children, whatever, I took parenting classes and all the things that they needed.
Okay.
With the post-traumatic stress, ODD, and all the other issues. And my thing was that, you know, her is the same way. But I can help her when people won't with her. So.
Okay. So we'll get some information on some different providers in the area. And this is not we'll talk to you about making an appointment, so she'll have to do that immediately.
Not a problem.
Okay, thank you.
And the only thing that I'm going to check on, you see this lady, and you can check it is right there, her proof of age, she gave me, what we need.
Oh, goodness. I need it out to have her.
My daughter Megan was enrolled December 14, 2016 into Edgecombe County Schools. Marva D. Scott, North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, North Carolina State Board of Education, Edgecombe County Public School System. Give me back my child and all others that may apply, not according to Dorothy, but according to God. Because where I know him for, he know him for all that was involved.